And if you haven't already closed down your eyes, over the next few moments, just letting the eyelids settle and soften. As you commit to gazing within, allow the upper lashes to meet the lower lashes, and then relax the eyeballs completely. As the eyeballs get the memo that we're going within, allow your awareness to start to filter to that inner space. And as you start to become aware of your inner world, perhaps you notice the pulse of your breath. That ever-present in and out, that ever-present rise and fall. Sometimes we just need to slow down, to simplify, to see it. So that's the simple experience for the next few moments, just to witness your breath without needing to change it. Slow down and witness. Breath coming in and breath going out. And if it feels good for you to use some words to stay in the presence of the breath, you might even internalize that statement as you breathe in, breath coming in, and as you breathe out, breath going out. Let everything else fall to the background. It is the breath's turn to be the center of your awareness. Notice already at this stage of our time together if you're feeling like your awareness is drifting or if you're getting distracted. Are you able to stay in the presence of the breath? Not trying to block out the external space, but allowing it to be part of your inner experience. So perhaps just being aware of any sounds that are in your space, any sensations from your immediate environment, perhaps the temperature of the air. And remember that the breath is the bridge between the outer and inner world. So every time that you breathe in and breathe out, you're in relationship with the external and inner space. We cannot have one without the other. So just letting the external space draw you even closer to your inner world, noticing everything that's here now. Beautifully done. From here, we're going to start to explore a bit of breath retention. That means we take a little pause at the top of the breath just to suspend and expand. And for this breathing technique, I'd like you to keep your focus in the rib cage, so front, sides, and back of the ribs within your line of focus. And the next time you breathe in, allow the ribs to flare out just a little bit more. And then you're at the top of the breath, just pause, suspend, and then slowly release the breath. We don't need to count this today, we're simplifying. Let this be a felt experience. Inhale, the ribs expand 360. When you're at the top of your breath, just pause, float. And then slowly as you can, exhale the breath through the mouth. So we're inhaling through the nose, we're pausing and suspending just till it feels good for you. And then we're exhaling through the mouth. Notice how this technique over the next few moments starts to draw you into a space of calm, centering awareness. You can't really be anywhere else, especially in that breath retention. When you pause the breath, you're in this moment in time. I invite you in that moment in time to rest, to relax the brain, the forehead, the jaw, the muscles in the shoulders. What would happen if in the pause you were able to just surrender and relax a little bit more? And the invitation on the exhale breath is to really feel a release. Some kind of letting go, you know? If it's tension, if it's worry, if it's fear, if it's something unknown, there's this sense of letting go, releasing. And the final invitation with this breath pattern is with the inhale, when you can soak up and sip up some vitality. Imagine this fresh wave of energy meeting your cells through the inhale. As you suspend, there's the invitation to relax and open. And as you exhale, there's the invitation to release and let go. That's the practice for the next few moments together. Stay with it and just witness how it moves you. You might even simplify that invitation with the next inhale, saying to oneself, vitality. With the suspension, saying to oneself, relaxation. And with the exhale, saying to yourself, release. Vitality, relaxation, release. What a beautiful blend, if you can go there. When we slow down and when we simplify, we're able to really tune into what's here. We snap out of autopilot and auto drive, and we just take a moment in presence to be with what is, instead of trying to fast forward or get to the next thing. Notice as you breathe in this way for the next few rounds before we stop this breathing experience. Notice how it feels to slow down in this way. Notice what's present for you. Taking just one more round in this way, the inhale expands you. The pause opens and suspends you, and the exhale releases the body, the mind, the heart through the out-breath. And just noticing when you come to an end of that round and you start to return to your natural method of breathing, if anything has shifted or altered just through that short and sweet breathing technique. And if it hasn't, that's okay too, but just become aware, explore. And once you do return to your natural method of breathing, that easy, seamless flow of breath without having to hold or suspend anything now, Just notice how the body feels. Notice how your awareness is. Is it able to stay with one thing? How's the mind? And from here, we're just going to go on a little journey with your awareness through the breath, but in a different way. Noticing the breath and how it moves the physical body as you explore it further. So we begin with your awareness placed just under the nose at the nostril region. Perhaps that incorporates part of the upper lip and the skin between the upper lip and the nostrils. So this is the starting point. Step one, just to stay here, to stay with what is and to really expand into that awareness in the nostrils and the upper lip. And just like in a music track where there's that background noise and then there's the main line or the melody, let the breath at the nostrils be the main line and let everything else become the background noise. Prioritize your breath. Staying with the nostrils just for a few more moments. And then letting that awareness move from the nostrils, from step one down to step two in the throat. So just like a hollow of a cave, noticing the throat. And sometimes when we bring our awareness there, we want to swallow. So feel free to swallow. And then just staying gently with your awareness placed here. And I invite you to witness the breath moving in and out through the throat. It might be ever so subtle a sensation, but stay with it. Be here without being anywhere else. Beautifully done. From the throat, step two, allow yourself to continue downward to step three, which is down in the chest. So coming back to that awareness in the rib cage, inclusive of the upper chest too. And I want you to stay present to the movement of breath here. What do you sense? Where do you feel it most? And just witness, observe, slow down. Notice if you've drifted, come back to your breath. It's very natural for the mind to wander. See if you can gently, lovingly catch yourself as you drift off and come back to the breath. No harm done. Go gently. And the final step in our breath awareness journey is to notice the breath in the lower stomach. And it might be so subtle that you can hardly feel it, but why not just get really accurate, zoom in and become aware of the breath here. This is the area of focus for the next few moments. Stay with it. Nicely done. From here, start to witness those 4 steps now. As you inhale, you notice the nose, the throat, the chest, the stomach inflating with air. And as you exhale, you notice moving back up those steps, belly, chest, throat, nose. And the exploration is just to stay and to witness that journey. Breath coming in through those passages and breath coming out. And if you're quite a visual person or you want to try it out, visualizing a color as you breathe in, moving through those channels, and maybe perhaps visualizing a different color leaving, acknowledging the chemistry shift, the change in our biology as we breathe in and breathe out. Our body quite physically changes the structure of what comes in and comparatively to what goes out. So let's acknowledge that, maybe with that visualization. And then as you've done that for a few rounds, you might start to release that visual. You might start to even release the need to witness the breath and just come into open awareness. So when I say open awareness, just opening up to everything that's here in this present moment. Sounds, sensations, smells, inner viewing, whatever's here. And while you're here with your open awareness, I invite you to plant the seed for a little contemplation. I'll pose this question to you and just see what comes forward. What do I need to simplify in my life to enable me to have more space? What do I need to do to simplify in my life that will then enable me to have more space? Is it quite physically and literally your environment? Is it more so the complexities in particular relationships? Is it the strategy you're using to work? What can you simplify in order to make space? Notice what's come forward, be with it, and then feeling the body held by whatever is beneath you, floor, bed, seat, whatever's here. Starting to take a few deeper breaths in and out now as you start to return out of that inward gaze, coming back towards the external space. And when you're ready, you could blink the eyes open, and you might want to take a little movement in the head, the neck. Maybe you want to wiggle fingers and toes. Taking a stretch if you need it could feel really nice. Hands could reach overhead as you stretch.